So Pat, as I say that, I'd love to turn it over to you because you've worked with a number of people who've gotten communication right and looked at the positive aspects of what's occurred in organizations. And I'd love for you to just share some examples with others of what that positive communication and bright spots look like in organizations with communication. So I'll turn it to you, Pat.
Yeah, and Janet, I really appreciate the time today. And as we think about the partners that we work with, and you highlight the importance of identifying core values, celebrating those, scaffolding messages, giving feedback aligned to the core values. I think that's fundamental. When we think about the starting point of that feedback loop, the starting point of the celebrations. But for the purpose of today, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into 3 vignettes of scaffolding communication when it's really hard. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of how teams that are pretty seasoned with the work that they're doing around organizational improvement. Each of them have spent significant time thinking about what their aims are, where their current performance is. They've been taking, really intentionally focused on those two-way communication loops. One of them is El Dorado County. They had a critical incident at the beginning of the school year. I'm not going to share the details of the incident, but their reflection was the tools came together in a really powerful synergy because it was late in the week. They held a morning huddle on a Saturday morning. They identified who are the people closest to the work that we need to make sure that we're pulling into this close communication. They held a Sunday morning quick huddle, so it was that daily huddle format that they were identifying. They used a stoplight report to then link every document that needed to be at easy reference for the leaders as they were scaffolding the key messages of why, what, how, who. So every press release was connected to the stoplight report. All of the people who were affected, student lists, adult lists, the contact information, the information that was going out from their police services, the information that needed to scaffold, it was all in one spot. And really what they indicated is now the tools aren't being deployed separately. The tools are coming together in really a powerful way because they're thinking as improvers and then they're able to execute as improvers. So in this incident, the team was really reflecting on it was live and in action, and without this process, it would have been a struggle, and it probably would have negatively affected a lot of people over a much longer period of time. But because they were able to accelerate that with really shared language, shared processes, shared focus, the outcome was really positive, even in a really hard situation. So that's one that I wanted to share. As I'm working with Hemet Middle School or Hemet School District in Southern California, Christy Barrett and her team are skilled improvers. They've been working for a while of how do they build systems to really improve. They were struggling, like many teams do, with early behaviors during the course of the end of last school year. They were really focused on middle school aggression. And again, they started with daily huddles. They collected their aggression data day over day. They met every morning for 15 minutes to talk about where are the kids struggling, what environment, what coverage do we have, how are we reshaping our plan from today to tomorrow. And with that daily huddle format, it actually dropped their student aggression data by 60% within like 40 days. I'm probably getting the numbers a little off, but Christy tells the story really well. And Janet, you have a podcast with Christy that would be a good one for team members to go back to. So really that focus of what do we know? How is it impacting student behavior? What is our next actions? How are we scaffolding the communication? And really taking that next action in a powerful way and then bringing those people really close to the work to make that next best decision day over day. Now, with that bright spot this year, they're using the bullseye as a focus tool to be able to communicate and scaffold those key priorities of the system. What are their tests of change? What are they trying to spread and scale? And that visual communication, just with that really simple tool, has been really powerful for the team members to understand what's now, who does it affect, who's working on that next step with the spread, and then what are the expectations for everyone. So that part of the process has been really powerful for them. The last one I'm going to share, and Janet, you've focused on T area school district pretty significantly. Jen Lowry with her team has really used their website, their newsletters, their video production of what does right look like as they're making visible the work of improvement all the way to the child level. Jen indicates early on, they took 2 large teams to visit the school district in Menominee Falls so that they could see what right looks like. So that was part of their intentional way of doing that scaffold of communication to their own team. And now they're hosting visits so that other people can see the work in action, so that we're creating common vocabulary, common processes, really sharing what's working and not working, and really doing it from that intention of spreading that bright spot to others. And the examples are really deep and rich, but when you get down into the examples of improving systems, the tools and processes start working together in a pretty robust way.
Yeah, so good, Pat. So thank you for sharing those examples. So